Most welcome. I just want to welcome our viewers wherever you are, all parts of this world. I just want to say most welcome. I want to apologize. We were experiencing some technology issues, but anyway, we are here. And so we are so grateful that you can join us today. I just want to take a moment and share this because we were originally supposed to go live on the Woman of Valor, but we had other issues going on, and so I just want to share this on the Woman of Valor page for the sake of those who don't know that we are live on this page. So just give me a moment. Give me a moment, guys. All right. Okay. It looks like that is done. May I please ask your favor, wherever you're watching us from, please just drop in the comment and tell us where you're watching us from. I'm really excited about today. A special welcome to our audience to this exciting topic today. I would like to send a warm Saturday welcome to both our new and our old viewers, and a special welcome to our guest here. I'm really excited, at the same time privileged to host these amazing ladies. I need you, Faye, to come a little bit here so that we can fit in here. Yes, we are observing COVID protocols, don't worry. And these women, I just want to talk a little bit about connection. One of the things that I really emphasize on as women, we need to be really connected. And I think it matters to who you are connected with. And I know that I've hosted so many people on this program, but today I'm really privileged to host people who are very close to my heart, physically as well as emotionally, because these women here have partly shaped the person who I am today. And I really want to encourage you that, 2021, do something different in your relationships, in your friendships. Look at who is in your circle, because those people matter a lot in your life. I just wanted to put that out here. And, I want to, first of all, introduce Auntie Guide. I call her Auntie Guide because she is older to me. I respect her so much, but really our relationship, she is more of my sister than an aunt to me. I will let her introduce herself later in the program, and she will tell us more about herself and what she does, as well as the reason she is here. Again, I will introduce my friend Faith, and I have known each other for, I would say, over 4 years now. It's been a while, but it's been an amazing journey. We share a lot of things in common. We share a lot of passions. We share a lot of history, and we share a lot of interest as well as our experiences, I think, and our background, where we're coming from. There's a lot of commonality there, and she will introduce herself as well in detail. Before I proceed, I just wanted to let you know quickly about myself. My name is Togo. For the sake of those who are new to this program, my name is Togo, and I am a mother. I'm a single mother. It's not a name tag, but it's something that I identify with. I have an 11-year-old sweet girl who is like going 16, honestly. And I'm originally from Malawi, but now I live in Canada with these amazing ladies. I am a founder of Woman of Valor Coaching and Consultancy, which is an empowerment and transformation coaching organization we specialize in relationships, love, as well as abuse recovery. Allow me as well to introduce the topic for today, which is abusive marriage traditions. The reason we share these topics on this platform is really to bring awareness, to share our experiences, and to help other women live a better life. Because through this program, we share tips, we share strategies, we share solutions to some of the challenges that we face as women in our everyday lives. And also, I would just like to put a disclaimer out there that the reason for being here, the reason you see me interviewing and bringing a lot of women into this conversation is not because we would like to shame somebody. It's not because we want to, embarrass anyone, but we want to make our lives better. And me as a person, I just want to be transparent here that I highly respect marriages, and I look forward to being married one day to an amazing man out there. And I also respect cultures a lot. I'm talking about cultures because today we are talking about, abusive marriage cultures. I am a product of a rich culture and tradition. However, the reason for being here today, we want to flag out, to unearth those cultures that are no longer serving us, those traditions that are not serving us as women, that keep us trapped in toxic, abusive relationship. And that is the reason I'm not here to water down any culture or to tear down anything, because I know that we are all products of an amazing culture, a rich culture, and we really appreciate that because we are who we are today, mainly because of that culture. However, there's certain things that happen in our culture, within our cultures, that we really need to start challenging. We need to start changing, those mindsets and bringing awareness to the world that those things are no longer serving us. And this is the reason we are here. So at this point, allow me to give the floor to Guide first. To go, and then later on I will give it to Faith. Faith is smiling because we talked something about that before we started. So yeah, it's an inside joke. So over to you.
Okay. Welcome everybody to this program, and good morning or good afternoon, depending on where you are. As Towe has already mentioned, my name is Guide. I am originally from Zimbabwe, and I am privileged to be here to talk about this very, very interesting and important topic about tradition and culture, and those parts of our tradition that are harmful to marriages. I'm very passionate about marriage. I'm very passionate about relationships, and I am hoping today we're going to have that conversation that we all need to have, that puts in light and in perspective those parts of our culture that are healthy and those parts of our culture that are not healthy, and move forward picking those things that are positive and enriching to us. And I'm hoping that everybody who is on this platform today will be able to tease out what works and what doesn't work. And I'm hoping that after this conversation, the conversations will continue in your circle. Like Towo said, it's important who is in your inner circle. It's important who you keep around. And it's important to have those women around you who inspire you, who give you a positive example. And for the most part, those women that lift you up as a sister, as a mother, as an aunt, as a daughter. And I'm hoping that by having these conversations, we empower each other to be able to identify those parts of our relationships that are not healthy, but also to empower ourselves to have the stamina and to create emotionally safe spaces within our relationships where we can identify when something is unhealthy for us, and to be empowered to do something about it. Welcome, and once again, I am privileged to be here. I am a mother, I am a sister, I am a daughter, I work, I am a friend, I am an aunt, and I embrace all those titles, and I'm privileged to hold those titles, and hope that whoever interacts with me can get something from my life, can learn something from my life, because I interact with a lot of people and I learn something from them. And so here we are, sisters. Let's lift each other up and let's have this conversation.
Thank you so much. That's so amazing. Over to you.
Yes. Hello, Swaziland. Hello, Eswatini.
Yeah.
My name is Faith Makatu. I am from Eswatini. I'm very proud of who I am as the Swati. I live in Canada. I'm a mother of 3 boys. I'm a social worker by profession. I'm a survivor of gender-based violence. I'm a divorced woman. I am very happy to be in this space, and I hope being here will touch a lot of people, will touch a lot of women who are in abusive marriages, who are in healthy marriages, who are aunts, who are mentors, who are sisters, who are church leaders, who are community leaders, because the purpose of us being here together as a women from Africa, we want to build a community, we want to build a healthy community of empowered women. We want to normalize certain things that our society does not normalize. We want to normalize that it's okay to hurt. It's okay to talk about what is going on in your life, what is going on in your relationship, what is going on in the society that you live in. So we're just here to like unpack all those things and validate a lot of feelings that women who are living in abusive relationships, who are living in abusive marriages are going through. We are just here to say, sis, we hear you, we validate you, we are here for you. So I am here today for good intentions. I'm not here to badmouth anyone. I'm not here to criticize love and marriage. I'm one person that love. I have a lot of people around me who are in healthy relationships, and I support them. I have a best friend who is in a very healthy relationship. I support her. I have 2 sisters who are married, and I support them. So I support love. I support healthy families. So that's who I am. So I'm just here to provide my insight of my own lived experience and to share with other women. Hopefully someone will learn something from there that they will share with their nieces, that they will share with their daughters, that they will share with their friends. So that's just why I am here today. And I hope this platform, as Guy said, is not gonna end from here. These conversations will continue, the community will continue in our homes, will continue in whatever gatherings that we have as friends, as sisters, so that we continue like spreading the word and raising awareness and supporting each other. Welcome to this space today.
Thank you so much. Amazing. I just wanted to recognize people who are watching live. I want to recognize my mentor and my coach, Fatima Omar. Thank you so much for being here. I have Chimwemwe Kambule from Malawi, Lilongwe. She's in the house. Thank you so much for being here. Yumna from South Africa. She's my buddy. Thank you so much, Yumna, for being here. And we have Miriam Nyirenda from Cape Town. We have Anne Mwinama from Lilongwe, Malawi. We have Tuonge Nyirongo watching. And ladies, I just want to appreciate you so much for the love that you're giving us. Please continue to give us the fire emojis. We love them. Please support us. Let us know that you really recognize what we're talking about, that we are not talking about something that doesn't exist. So give us that power, we need it. Give us the energy, we really appreciate it. Fatima says, such a powerful conversation. I really appreciate you being here. Miriam says, hello beautiful ladies. Hello beautiful. Hello. Thank you so much for being here. And so I think to begin with, I just want to give it back to Faith. Just for her to, to break the silence and start sharing. You can start by sharing your lived experiences or something that you've observed in your culture. By the way, she's from Eswatini. I really love the name. So for the sake of those who are watching us, she's from Eswatini, former Swaziland. I am from Malawi originally, and she is from Zimbabwe, but we are here in Canada. And I think this is amazing because some of these things we see it even here in Canada. It's not something that only happens back home. Some of these cultures, these mindsets, they are rooted. Even here in Canada, we still experience and we still see them happening. So I think it's such a beautiful combination here. Over to you, Faith.
I, like Toko has said, I'm from Eswatini, and I'm a very proud person to identify as the Swati. I embrace my culture, and I'm proud of who I am. I'm proud of my heritage. I'm proud of the cultures that were instilled in me as a child because they formed who I am. I am not going to, because Swaziland is known as a country that is so proud of its culture. but I'm not gonna talk a lot about, like, the culture is so broad. I'm gonna try to narrow it down, and I'll just talk about when you get married. So in Swaziland, when a woman gets married, whether it's civil rights or traditional marriage, so before the woman leaves their parents' home, they are being sat down by the elders of the family, and they're like telling you, preparing you on how to submit, on how to suck up with abuse, on how to put your house together. Like, those are the main teachings that we are prepared for as women getting married. We are never prepared on how to know what is wrong and what is good for you.
Yeah.
We are never prepared on how to walk away from a toxic relationship. We are never prepared on how to raise your voice, how to say your truth. We are never prepared to do that. So these elderly people from your family will sit you down and say, after they've said all that, they pack your clothes in a box. A box, it's called a casket. So the symbol of that box, it represents that when you take your belongings from your parents' house, leaving your house to your matrimonial home, you will never come out of that matrimonial home until when you're dead. So that kiss represents a coffin or a casket. So meaning your body will leave your matrimonial home in a casket. So after being told that, you have to suck it up, you have to submit, you cannot argue with the man. And then you are told that we don't want to see you back unless you are dead. That's when you're gonna leave that house. So in the midst of all those things, and usually the people that will be sitting you down telling you all those things are people that really matter a lot in your life, are people that you look up to, are people that have raised you. Like for me, I was raised by my grandparents. My grandmother was among of the people that were telling me those things. And also, on top of that, I am a firstborn child. So I had so much responsibility and so much expectations to live according, so that I'm a role model to my own siblings. So when I got married to this abusive person, first of all, I didn't have a space to share what was going on in my life because I was told not to share. So if I talk about what is going on in my marriage, my matrimonial home, it's a symbol of weakness. I'm not strong enough to be a married woman. What example am I setting? Like, we are only prepared to protect this person, and it's so unfortunate because we are prepared to protect this person that is so abusive to us. But you have to do all you can to protect this person. So I stayed in that relationship for so long. I never talked to my family what I went through. I was emotionally abused. I was financially abused. I never told anybody that I was going through in my family until the last day when I had to leave. But before then, while these things were happening, I ended up leaning towards my pastor. We had a conversation. I talked to 2 different pastors about it because I wanted this to work. I tried all that I could, but I couldn't go to my family and really say exactly what is going on. Now, as a grown-up woman, I'm very connected to my family, and the support that your biological family gives to you is incomparable. You are not gonna get it anywhere else. That support from your family is so important, and I think families needs to be so observant in a way that you learn what is happening in your child's life, in your niece's life, without even verbalizing it. Read the body language, read how they present. I remember one time I was walking in town and I met my cousin, and my cousin was like, how are you? We grew up together because I grew up in an extended family. My male cousin, I'm like, I'm fine, cousin, what's up? And he was like, you don't look okay. Is this person abusing you? And then I just broke down because I was like, oh my gosh, everybody else sees it on my body. And I can't do nothing. I'm just in this space where I'm so hopeless. I can't go home and tell somebody what's going on. even besides that, I grew, like I said, my grandparents are the ones that raised me up. I grew up in a broken family. Even when I go home, I'm like, who am I gonna talk to? Who's gonna hear this? Like, where do I go to? So I ended up being stuck up in this environment that I didn't have anyone to talk to. Even though we were going to church, when I reach out to church, I just see all these couples with happy marriages. And I'm like, where do I even start telling my story? Who is going to listen to me? Because there's another thing, when we go out telling our stories, it's like we are shaming someone. We are out there to destroy someone. Yet it's not true. You are speaking your feelings and you need help. But it's seen as someone that is angry, is out there to destroy somebody's reputation and all that. So in church, I want to encourage my church sisters, my married ladies, that look out to your sisters. That people are suffering, but they can't say it. Read the body language. Just check in, say how things are going, other than talking about prayer meetings, other than talking about all-night prayers, fasting, and all that. Just
fasting
do like,
for your marriages.
Fasting for your marriage, I did that. Just do like a holistic check-in. How is the person doing mentally? How is the person doing physically? How is the person doing emotional? How is the person doing spiritually? Let's watch out for each other. I think I missed that from my church, even though I was in a circle of amazing women that I'm still connected to. But I just lacked that. I wish that was there at that time. I think that would have been really helpful.
Oh my goodness, such a rich conversation. I really, really appreciate you putting yourself out there, being vulnerable, because I know that there is a lot of people, a lot of women out there who can relate to your experiences. I just want to quickly, before I give it to Guide, to read the comments that we're having from our viewers. Here, someone, Soha said, oh, Soha, hey! She says, oh no, she says, I hear you, dear beautiful lady. Please breathe. We protect perpetrators. That's Fatima. And she says, thank you for your courage. I have so much relatedness to you. People are suffering, but they are very, very silent. Thank you so much, Fatima. We really appreciate that. Soha said, we need a safe space to open up. That is very, very important. And Soha said, again, thank you for your courage, respect. Thank you so much. I just wanted to say something that you mentioned about when a person is getting married, because it's there in my culture as well. When a person is getting married in our culture, there are elders, especially for the woman. Mm-hmm. They'll sit you down, they'll talk to you how to take care of a man in the bedroom and in the kitchen, right? They'll emphasize on those things, and they'll also tell you that, you know, once you get there, you cannot talk about your marriage because you cannot talk about bedroom issues, because then you're bad-mouthing your marriage and you're bringing bad luck to your marriage. And so those kind of things, they make you to keep quiet even when you're going through very difficult times. And also, the saddest part of it is that these are older women, like you said, in the society whom you respect a lot. And if they're the first ones to tell you that never say anything to anyone about what you're going through in your marriage, you have to shut up and just deal with it. You then wonder, where do I go with my issue? Whom do I tell? Because sometimes you want to model their marriages, but really you don't know how to do it, or you don't know how to report these things that are happening in your own personal life. And also the culture of, you know, for us, for me, in my culture, when a woman is getting married, like there's, like, especially during the traditional wedding, or like, you know, when people are exchanging dowry and all those things, the elders, they will pack, it's symbolic, so they'll pack utensils and, you know, stuff in, and they'll tie it together in a wrapper, and they'll carry it on their head, and they'll be singing songs to say, go, go, go. When you go, you don't come back, you never come back, and stuff like that. Symbolically, it shows that when you go forever. Like you they are taking you to your marital home, and there's no coming back, there's no turning back. And so some of those things, they are very subtle, they are part of our culture, but the message that they send out there is very profound. And those are the messages that are trapping a lot of women in abusive relationships. I want to give it to Auntie Guide and see what she has for us.
Okay, so I'm going to take it on from what Faith says. So right there, let's unpack the culture that is very inherent in a lot of African countries. So like it's been mentioned, I am from Zimbabwe. I can identify with the Eswatini culture, and I have workmates and I have friends from Uganda, from Kenya, from Tanzania, from Zambia, from all over the world. That culture that's inherent in us that says you do not wash your dirty linen in public. Can we unpack that? Can we look at how destructive it is for women in abusive marriages? Like she mentioned, you are there going through all this abuse and you do not feel as if you have a right to even tell a single soul about what you are going through. But as she symbolically says, when you leave your home, the symbolism is that you are going to go to that matrimonial home, to that married life of yours, and you are not welcome to come back to your family. So that right there puts a block. It's an emotional block, it's a physical block for you to feel as if you are still welcome back into your family if the marriage doesn't work. So that is one of the cultures that we really need to unpack and see whether it's how helpful is it, or how can it be done in such a way that is helpful and healthy for families. So that right there that says you cannot wash your dirty linen in public. Can we have a space? Can we talk about that? Can we see how helpful? Why is it that you do not have the right or you do not have the platform to share how dirty your linen is and get the help that is available, or get the help that you need? So that is one problematic culture, and I would love to hear people have that conversation even outside of this circle. Can we be the people that are strong enough and emotionally available so that we do not perpetrate that abusive culture? And also for all the ladies, like Chowo says, there is a lot of young married people that emulate marriages that they think are ideal or perfect. There is no marriage that is perfect. And let's normalize sharing our struggles, sharing what has worked in our marriages and what hasn't worked, what is unhealthy, and also to empower each other to say, when you identify that something is unhealthy, when you identify that something is amiss, this is how you empower yourself. This is what you do. Because a lot of women can identify that where they are is not healthy, but they do not know what to do about it. They do not know how to enforce any consequences to that behavior that they are going through. So in our circles, can we normalize empowering each other to say, identify the unhealthy signs in a relationship, be it a dating relationship or even a marriage relationship? How do you identify those signs and what do you do about it? And create a safety net for those that need it. So let's talk about why not washing your dirty linen is problematic. So okay, if you're not washing it in public, where in private can you wash it? Because the dirty linen needs to be washed.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely. I think that is a very important point, that when we are emphasizing some of these things. I was talking to, I think that was my sister yesterday, talking about all these things that happen in our relationships and our culture, and it formulates who we are, and it builds a certain mindset, right? That gets us stuck. And some of these things have been passed from generation to generation, from I can't even tell from when. But this is the 21st century, and we are here still having the same mindset, and really that's not serving us anymore.
No.
So I really like the point to say, when we talk about dirty linen, the linen is dirty. So where can we wash that dirty linen? If we can't wash it in public, where can we wash it? Can we normalize talking about our experiences openly without any judgment, just to seek help? Can we normalize welcoming people and not judging them when they come to us with issues, and being open enough to say, yes, you can talk to me about that, and also just validating, because I feel like one of the things that also happen in our culture, that we invalidate a lot, especially in my experience. I was married to someone who was very abusive, but out there he was an amazing person. He was very charismatic. He was very helpful, you know. And so every time I talk to people to say, this is what I'm experiencing in my marriage, they will invalidate that. They'll be like, you are troublesome, you are very talkative, you do all this, and all those judgments make me shut down. I'll be like, I can't say anything anymore. So I think one of the things that we can do as a takeaway here, can we open up and also, you know, be welcoming when people come to us with their issues. Church leaders,
Yes.
we need to be very open and, you know, give people an audience, give people an opportunity to share their struggles, and also to offer very practical solutions, because I feel like most of the times it's like, oh no, marriage is very sacred, marriage is this and that. It's there in our culture as well. You know, you can badmouth your marriage like that. You're bringing bad luck. I just wanted to pause a little bit and just read what we have here. Identify red flags of violence, that says Fatima. Educate and inform. Healthy boundaries. Okay, transform that thinking, allowing the woman to speak about what is happening in her marriage. I think that is very, very important. The married woman doesn't have the right to speak out as it is right now. Like when you're married, you're supposed to, you know, you cover up.
I just want to add on that. I think the idea of having married women's voices silent starts from like even before you're married. It starts from when you are young, like how even your brothers are treated different from you, like growing up from home.
I really love that you brought that up.
So it's like something that is embedded on us. We have been socialized this way. We have seen these things happening, and in most times, like in my situation, even though my family had told me to not argue with my husband, to not disagree with my husband. So when time came where I had to like express my opinion, to express how I feel, and this person each and every single time will do reverse psychology. Each time we had an argument, we are trying to confront something that was going on, it ends up being my problem. If I confront, why were you cheating? I caught you, it become my problem. It's either I'm being disrespectful, I'm not talking to him like in a respectful manner. How am I expected to be respectful if things are going like this? So it's like, even the boys, they grew up knowing that women have no voice. Like you can't talk to me like that.
Very true.
So it's something that is culturally embedded, and it's something that needs to change. Women that are raising boys out there, you need to like try to work hard to change that in your boys. Like they need to know that every voice matters. Everyone is important. Everyone have feelings that they need to express, and everyone needs to be heard.
And to add on to that, as Faith says, when there is an issue in a marriage, if your husband cheats, it always comes back to you were not pretty enough, you did not give him enough sex, why does it have to be on the woman's shoulders all the time to make sure that the marriage works? Why are we not having a conversation that makes everybody accountable and honorable to their vows? Why do we normalize that men's cheating is okay, and why do we have to accept that? So, you know, like she says, it always becomes a reverse psychology aspect where everything else that's going wrong in your marriage is because you as a woman were not good enough. You didn't put enough effort.
Yeah.
You didn't support him
You
enough.
didn't approach me the
You
right
didn't
way.
approach.
Yeah.
So can we normalize, like she says, even people that are raising sons, can you groom young men to know that each voice matters? When you are getting married, you are coming into partnership
In a joint
with somebody.
partnership.
Yeah.
You are not coming here to serve and serve and serve until you go to the grave.
Great. I really love that. I wanted to bring something into this conversation, and that is how dating is done or practiced back home. Why in our cultures, let me put it. Why I'm bringing this conversation is because Guy touched on the like, how are we raising boys versus how we are raising girls. Because I had a conversation with my siblings earlier, actually today, where we were talking about how do we really tell our girls and our boys what is healthy dating and what is not. Because I feel like most of the times the emphasis gets to where, like, when a woman has attained puberty, that's when we start emphasizing on, like, relationships and grooming that girl to be a wife,
A dutiful
wife. That's the word. Someday. But what are we doing to the boys, and how can we improve on that?
That does not necessarily have to be just with boys and girls. Even as families, how do sisters and brothers talk to each other?
Yes.
How do daughters and their dads talk to each other? Why is it that women do not have a voice regardless of their sphere?
Yeah.
Why do you not have a voice as a sister? Why is it that your brother's voices matter? Their opinions matter and yours don't matter?
Yeah.
Why is it that your dad, your father wouldn't listen to your input as a daughter?
Yeah.
So that is a culture that we need to be working on. Not necessarily, because it then trickles down to marital relationships, to intimate relationships, boyfriend and girlfriends, fiancés and husbands and wives. So that is something that we need to model in all spheres of our interactions.
Yes.
I really agree with Guy today. I just want Guy to talk about something that we talked about earlier on, like, how do we model
Right.
healthy marriages?
Right.
Yeah. Like the things that you shared about your family, like your family growing up as a child, the expectation that as a woman wanting to get married, you have to meet this, do that before you actually get married. I think that was very powerful.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I agree.
So I come from a family that values success. So, and this also differs from family to family. But I grew up in a family where my parents expected us, and we were all sent to school the same way, boys and girls. We had the same opportunity to attain whatever educational aspirations we had. But part of my family's legacy, and I think I proudly embrace that, was that as a woman, you still needed to attain the highest level of education that you wanted. You still needed to attain some professional qualification that made you self-sustaining. So no matter how in love you were, my family wouldn't bless your marriage unless you were self-sustaining as a woman. So they expected you to graduate from something and have a profession. And I remember that's the conversation that my parents said. We want you to go out there having established yourself, being able to take care of yourself so that you do not feel the need to stay in an abusive marriage because you are staying for a roof over your head. You are staying because somebody has to provide for you.
Yeah.
So that for me was where I came from. You needed to be able to hold a job. You needed to be able to have your own resources so that you did not feel as if you needed to stay married, so that there's a roof over your head, that you had food for yourself or your children, and that you could clothe yourself. So I think maybe that's something that we need to encourage, that women do not have to feel that they are indebted to a man to provide for them, whatever shape or form that kind of provision was. So that, if you needed to come out of that marriage, you still felt that you did have the resources to come out, or you had the support of your family to come out and to be welcomed back into your family, or you could still come out of the marriage and live by yourself and still be okay. So maybe we need to normalize that. We need to have that conversation. We need to empower sisters, cousins, all people that are in our sphere, to say, it's important for you to be able to take care of yourself in whatever way, economically and otherwise. And also, that also brings me to a point where our ideal of what a successful woman is.
Yes.
We have a talk that says, oh, my daughter or my niece or whoever, my sister, or she's done well. She's a university graduate, or she's a college graduate, or she has a good job, and she has a good house, and she has this. And we tend to list the material and academic accomplishment of our sisters and say, well, what she doesn't have is a man. As if having a partner, in a man in your life, is a cherry on top. As if whatever you've worked hard to achieve is not good enough until it's validated by having a man on your arm, regardless of whether that man is healthy for you or not. So, those are some of the cultural things that we need to be talking about in the 21st century, to say, why is it that a woman's success is only measured with what kind of man she has on her arm? And why is it that success is only acknowledged if there is a presence of a man?
I love that. I think that is so deep, because it's something that we've normalized. I've seen it so many times that we do this to women who are successful. They have a good job, they went to school, they've worked hard, they've earned it. All of us here have got masters, right? But sometimes when we go out there, they will look down upon us as like, oh, she failed on marriage. She's not. So it's like all that success that you've worked hard to attain, it's nothing until you have a husband. I think we need to break these barriers and start talking about it, and normalize that I can be a successful woman, content, fulfilled, happy, as a single woman. And that is okay. That should be normalized.
But also, success means different things for people.
Yes.
And let's normalize having those conversations and knowing that each and every one of us brings something to the table. And it's also okay to sit at your table by yourself and value what you bring to that table. And it's also okay to know that somebody else's success criteria is not yours.
Absolutely.
And it is okay to be different. We all have life's path and our purposes in life differently. And each and every being different doesn't mean being better or being worse, right? So let's validate each other as sisters. Let's validate our struggles and our accomplishments. And let's also normalize that we can all be different and be in our different paths. We still validate and really celebrate each other.
Absolutely. I love that. I wanted to emphasize a point here, that I think what Guide shared, and I know that Guide was raised in all these cultures that we're talking about, but it was the decision of her family to say, in our family, a woman, a girl will go out until they achieve.
They have their ducks in line.
Exactly.
You have put your boxes in place.
Exactly.
And you. But I think for the most important thing for me is that I was welcome.
Yeah.
If my marriage didn't work, I was welcome to come back home and still be the daughter that left. But also just knowing that I was equipped as a person. I didn't go into my marriage and felt that I would say, oh, I came here as less of a person, and then this family has done this for me. No, I walked into my marriage accomplished and confident and felt enough. I so I think it's important for women to feel like they are enough right where they are. It doesn't matter what age or what educational qualification or what your bank balance is. It's important for each person to feel as if they are enough and they are not indebted to somebody, and then that also means that they get tied down to that person because they feel indebted to that person. So I think we just need to know that you are enough where you are.
I really like that a lot, Guide. I think me growing up as a child, I really lacked that, and as a mother today, I am ready by all means to provide that environment for my sister's daughters, my whatever girl that is around me, my friends, girls, whosoever girl, to create that, to empower them in that way, because I really like that. And I think if I grew up in a very nurturing and empowering environment, I think my situation would have been treated different, or things would have happened different. And I never felt that I was welcome to go back home, because I remember a couple of times I was told to leave and go home. So I went home and I stayed there for a few days. And what happened was my family had to bring all the elders to talk to me as if I have done anything wrong. And I did not, and sent me back. They sent me back. Second time, same story. They sent me back. That time, this person sent my dad a message saying, you need to take your daughter. You need to tell your daughter to leave my house, because if I get there, I don't know what am I going to do to her. And my father called me. I was like, what's going on? I'm like, I don't know. And my dad was like, I received this message. I was like, oh, really? So I was like, so if now it was like threatening my life, like for real, it was like this thing was escalating. So I was like, you know what? I think it's high time that I leave. So my first stop, I remember I went to the police station to report. So I got to the police station. This person is an advocate for women, is an advocate for children. He talks about violence against women. He talks about, so when I got there, he goes to all the police stations to educate and raise awareness. When I got there, this police officer called him, and he's like, I didn't tell that person to go to the police station. I told her to go home, and I'm not coming there, because I went to the domestic violence unit to have a conversation. And he's like, no, I told her to go home. I didn't tell her to go to the police station. And this officer was like, oh my gosh, is it this person that talks on TV and do this, that? So I'm going back to your point, Toko, that whenever you tell people, they're like, no, it can't.
You are the problem.
And then you end up getting to a point where you start questioning yourself. Am I okay? Am
I going crazy?
Is it what I'm seeing real? Am I going crazy? What's going on here? So the last time when this happened, I went home, and my father was like, we need to send. I said, no, I'm not going back. And that was it. I never went back until today.
Okay. Exactly. So,
but I just want to encourage what Guy talk about. Let's create the spaces. Let's welcome our children back. Let's tell them it's okay to come back. Let's tell them it's okay to talk about what is going on. Never ever at some point in time forget of coming home. If West comes to West, come back home. We love you.
Home should be a safety net.
Home should. But just emphasize that, and the empowering part, that Go there when you are a person of your own, when you can take care of yourself. Don't go there for someone to take care of yourself. Have a career, build yourself first before you can build a home with somebody else. You know.
So that also comes to, as families, let's create the space where we can have a conversation.
Yes.
Let's create emotionally safe spaces where nieces and sisters and aunties can have very authentic and honest conversations. And let's normalize acknowledging that we struggle in our own marriages.
Absolutely.
Because one of the points that Togo brought up was that you emulate somebody's marriage because you do not know the struggles that they go through. You do not know what they have gone through to get to this point. And it also ties down to not washing dirty linen in public. We're putting these public relations images that paint a very perfect picture. There is no marriage that is perfect. So let's normalize acknowledging that we struggle in certain areas and share the tools that has helped us to work through all those kinks. And the communication as well is very important. And I also want to touch on Ephesians chapter 5 that gets taken out of context all the time, about women submitting to the man.
Yes.
Can we normalize reading the whole chapter? That actually talks about what, and then what does the man do? He loves his wife. He loves the church.
He lays his
life. So you do not lay your life for somebody that you hurt. You do not lay your life for somebody that you abuse.
Yes.
That is not laying your life. So when we talk about women being submissive, can a conversation then continue about what the expectation of the man is?
Yes.
So mothers with sons, have a conversation about what it means to be the head of the house, what it means to be a leader of the house. Because leaders are people that listen to the contributions of those that they lead.
Yes.
Without fear of rejection, without fear of judgment, without fear of losing authority. That is what healthy communication looks like. That is what healthy leadership looks like. So, and as mothers, we groom our girls to follow into these roles and forget that somebody needs to groom our sons, because we're grooming young girls to clean up after themselves, how to keep a house, how to clean, how to cook, how to basically wait on a man. Let's also teach our sons what it means to lead a home, what it means to have a healthy relationship with a woman.
Great. Before we proceed, I just wanted to are we still good on time?
Yeah.
Okay. We're still good on time. Okay. Yeah. I just wanted to read a comment here. I really love this conversation because I know that a lot of times we don't want to talk about these things because it's our culture. Yesterday when I was talking to Faith about something, and she brought up a very important comment, which she said that expectations. She was in this abusive marriage, but she's the firstborn. And the expectation is that you have to put up a beautiful picture. You have to be the role model for your siblings. So what kind of modeling are you doing if you run away from your marriage, right? And also the fact that sometimes in my case, like I wanted to talk to people at church because when abuse reached an intense level in my marriage, we had just moved to Canada. I didn't have friends. I didn't have guide that time. I'm sure if I had guide that time, things would have exactly. But the people whom I was looking up to were people from church, and so every time I go to church, everyone looks happy and in a very perfect marriage. And I was like, oh my gosh, where am I even gonna that from?
Yeah.
And every time I mention something to do with my relationship, people will just,
shut you down.
And also to mention that on church too, because usually when we get married as women, we go to the men's church. So you are the stranger in that community. So this person is known in that community as an outsider. As an outsider, you feel like you have less rights and you have less privileges. And how are you going to start approaching? How are you going to start demolishing this reputation that the person have, this relationship that they have with the entire church? So it's like you
are stuck in there.
Yeah.
You are stuck in there.
Yeah.
Let me read a few comments here. Astance, she's watching us from the UK. Thank you so much for being here, girl. She says, know you first and be sure to stand by yourself. Once you are standing on your own, you won't need anyone to fulfill your being. To expect another person to fulfill your fantasies is not love. It's looking for attachments. There's a big difference between true marriage and some kind of unhealthy transactional attachment. I really love that. Do we have anything else to say? There is something that I remembered in terms of expectations, still on expectations. When a woman starts dating in our culture, I don't know you guys, but in my culture, we receive all these questions and pressure. When are you getting married? I remember that the first time I introduced my boyfriend at a certain point to my sisters, the first question that I was asked, when are you getting married? When is the big day? I feel like that puts us...
That puts pressure to even get married when you're not ready or when the person is not right for you.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. Exactly. So what can be done, or what other comments do you have on that?
I think it's important, like I said, to know that life works differently for each person. And because your friend or your cousin or so and so is getting married and they're all the same age group, you should be getting married. No, you should be getting married when you're ready. You should be getting married when you have met the right person for you. There shouldn't be any pressure to say, oh, you're 25, you should be married by now. No. Whenever you're ready is when you decide to get married. I think we also subconsciously project our pressures on those that are around us. We also, and I'm also going to talk to maybe older ladies who are aunties and say, please do not leave your fantasy out on your nieces or your daughters. Whatever you didn't do on your wedding, don't want to, don't look at having those, on those younger generations that come after you.
I don't mean to put you on the spot, but you shared with me a certain culture that is practiced in your culture, whereby like when a person, like when you're dating and then the elders will come and do. Can you share that? Because I feel like our audience needs to hear that.
Yeah. So in Swaziland, we have two types of marriages: the traditional one and civil rights. So the traditional marriage happens. I look at it as a forced marriage, because the woman wouldn't be aware that on this day they will get married to this family.
There's no say.
No, they wouldn't know. They don't know at all. Like, you'll be just dating this man and you think you're having fun, and at some point in time you visit the guy's family for a sleepover or whatnot, and then the early hours of the morning you just hear somebody banging your door, say, come out, you're now married. So whether you agree to that or you disagree, it doesn't matter, because the proceedings of the ceremony will continue with you agreeing it or not.
No consent.
No consent. That's why I say I look at it as a forced marriage. Even the way it's performed, it's so brutal. So whether it's winter time or it's not, you're gonna be like half naked. So you wear like a leather skirt that goes on your waist, and your upper body is naked, and there's this bunch of women that are like shouting, yelling, insulting you or physically abusing you until you start crying, because the way it has to happen, you have to be crying. So you have to cry like from 2 a.m. until sunrise. So yeah, so
and that is culture,
and that is culture.
culture.
That is it's still practiced. Yeah. So it's like you get into this. If these people, if like the elders of that family, they just feel like their son has to get married. It doesn't matter if you're ready or the woman
whether you
consent
dated
to
that person only,
whether you were just dating for fun or not. I have seen that happening in my family a lot, because I come from a family that has the uncles, my dads, they all have like multiple wives. Okay. So we've been doing this. I have seen it like happening all the time. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Those are the kind of cultures that are not serving us. Yeah. Because imagine this girl, even psychologically, emotionally, she's not ready to be a wife yet. Mm-hmm. And now, bang, all of a sudden, overnight, now she's a wife. Mm-hmm. What happens
and
to
her?
And
even undo that ceremony is a process. If you really want to like undo it, there's like so many things that you have to go through, as if it's something that you chose, yet you did not. Yeah.
Imagine that. Yeah.
The biggest thing that I really think it's important, because our cultures coming from Africa, I think we share the same. Our cultures and our religion are important to us. Yes. So I think these two institutions have to really like normalize these things, be aware, educate. The church is where everyone goes to like for strength, for their faith, to pray and all that. Church should create these spaces. Church should normalize these things. It's high time we look out for each other as sisters. Create that emotional space for that safe space for women to share. I think church is when I look at church, I look at, what am I gonna say? It's a place that has had a lot of people. Yes. I am not saying in a bad way that I hate church. I do love church. I go to church, but a lot of people have been hurt at church. Okay. So
spiritual abuse.
Yeah.
All right. We are coming to the end of our conversation. It's been so nice. I really, really love these conversations. I just want to give you, Auntie Guide, if you have anything to say before we close, and then I'll give it to Faye, and then I'll close.
I would still say, as women, our sphere of influence is wide. Let us use the privilege that we have to cultivate healthier relationships, to cultivate a different communication style. Yeah. And for most of us, there comes a point where like it's been shared here today, that you lacked this and that. Can we all strive to be that which was lacking for us? Mm-hmm. Can you be that supportive person for somebody which you felt you needed, maybe when your marriage was still new, or maybe when you were struggling in your marriage? Can we strive to be that which we felt we didn't get? Mm-hmm. That's a plea that I'm putting out there for all women listening today. But also, can we strive to learn, to get the skills, to read books, to talk to other women, to be authentic in who we are, to acknowledge what we struggle with, and to share, because unless you ask, you wouldn't get. So if you don't say you are struggling in a certain area, then nobody else will be able to help you, or to say, oh, I walked in those shoes. And trust me, there is nothing that you are walking in today that somebody else hasn't walked in.
Absolutely.
But let us normalize saying, I've walked in those shoes, and this was my struggle, and this is what I used. It might be helpful for you, or it may not. And can we normalize not putting out the persona of perfection? Yeah, we all stumble, and we need to acknowledge that. But also, just knowing that when somebody approaches you to share their struggle. Whether they say to you, I'm telling you this in confidence, yes, somebody is talking to you in confidence. There is implied assumption that, you know, when I'm coming to share my intimate details about my marriage with you, I am talking to you in confidence, and my hope is that you're going to help me in one way or the other. Because when you share and that confidential information gets to the wrong ears, that shuts down any future sharing, right? So that's something that we all have to talk about. But also just to know that, you know, we all struggle and there is no perfect marriage. And marriage is hard work. I think when all these ceremonies from different countries are performed, when somebody is new and coming into marriage, there is not enough conversation to say, you are going to struggle. Marriage is hard. But also to not put the burden on the woman to say, all men cheat. You are going to just have to persevere with that. All men abuse. You are just going to persevere with that.
All men are the same.
All men are the same.
Exactly.
No, they are not the same. Just as much as we women are not the same. But also just not to put the burden on a woman to say, you know, you are just there to make your man happy. And he is going to cheat. And he is going to be a bad financial manager. He's going to but your role as the woman is to just persevere and make him happy.
I love that. All marriages struggle in one way or the other. Not all men are not different, are not the same, right? Men are different, just as we ladies are different. Marriage is work. We need to put in the effort. It's worth it. At the end of the day, it's worth it, but it has to be both sides. Do you have anything else to add, Faye? While you're adding, I just want to do something.
Okay.
Please go ahead.
I totally agree with what Togo and Guy shared. I think every partnership is a joint effort, like as marriage, as relationships, as sibling love, as family love. It's like a joint effort that everyone has to put in the work. What I want to say to all women out there, we are not in relationship to work on broken men. That's not our role. We enter into a relationship to embrace each other, to love each other, to partner. It's not our role to be social workers. It's not our role to provide therapy. If you are broken, just fix yourself and get into your relationship in a rightful state of mind. I'm not only saying to men, I'm saying also to women too. We need to work on ourselves before we need to heal before we start relationships. And hey guys, marriage is beautiful, family is beautiful, love is beautiful, culture is beautiful, but let's just not abuse all those things. Let's not allow behaviors that hurt our feelings, that hurt who we are, that hurts our children. Let's embrace love and love each other and support each other. Let's look out for our sisters, look out for the daughters out there, look out for everyone. Let's be a community that embrace love. Let's plant love everywhere we go.
And also, just as women, let's not abuse each other as women. Let's not abuse our sisters-in-laws. Let's not abuse, when you're an aunt, do not abuse your nieces. Can we be women who get into their space and rightfully do what they are called to do? Because do not do to another woman what you wouldn't want to be done to you. So don't go to your brother's house and expect your sister-in-laws to wait on you hand and foot. Do not go to your son's house as a mother-in-law and expect your daughter-in-law to bend over backwards and cater to you in whatever way. So let's be women who embrace each other, who support each other in whatever role we are, as sisters, as mothers, as mothers-in-laws, as aunties, as daughters, as cousins. As women, let us not continue to perpetuate the culture that hurts other women.
All right. I really appreciate. I need to come in. I really want to appreciate these amazing women. I think this conversation was very rich, very intense, and I hope that our audience has picked something out of it. We've touched on culture, we've touched a little bit on religion, we've touched on mindset, we've touched on things that are subtle in our behaviors, everyday behaviors. And so it's very rich. I would like to encourage all of you who joined this conversation a little bit late. You better go back and rewatch this video. I will post this video on YouTube, and I'm really excited about that. And before I close, I just want to thank these amazing women so much for being here with me. It's been a lot of preparation, a lot of setup, a lot of time, trying to put the pieces together, because we come from different cultures, but we needed to consolidate what we are talking about and make sure that we're saying the same thing. So I just want to really appreciate you. I hope very soon we'll come back again to share something else different that women struggle with. So until next time, to our audience, you've been so amazing. We really thank you so much. Thank you for all the energy that you've given us, the love, the power, the fire emojis. We really appreciate you. Until next time, watch out.